Regina Ang Lee, and we are excited to bring you day 2 MSS from this Liberty Garden, Pokemon weekend. First off, I do want to talk a little about the results yesterday. For those of you who may not have seen, James Evans won yesterday. Of course, James Evans, a really commanding player from the area. Used a team that he's been using for the past month and a half, so something I do kind of expect to see him running again today. Having something like a Keyberry Gastrodon, which he's one of the few players I've seen running this format, but we did see a ton of really interesting and diverse teams yesterday, if either of you want to go into that.
Yeah, we saw some Sandaconda, Gmax Sandaconda, and Gmax Butterfree. A newer, unique take on the Hard Trick Room from our very own Arvin Tumeneng. And we saw some other stuff like a Dynamax Togedemaru.
Loved that team so much.
Ended up working out really well. I do think that, having Max Steel Spike, a same type attack boosted Max Steel Spike is always an asset. So being able to, unleash that at any time. And, Togedemaru really unleashed it. And I really do think that yesterday we saw some really high level play, something that you might not get from, most of the mid-season showdowns from across the country. This is just one of those areas where we have a lot of players that are fighting for travel awards, many multiple world champions, even a world champion who ended up taking the whole thing yesterday in James Evans. So I think that some of the unique stuff that we saw yesterday was really clever, and we also just saw some all around solid team building in general.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the people who are coming back today, right? Because you have the opportunity to use the same team that you used yesterday and figure out what might have went wrong if you didn't get as far as you wanted, or you can just come in with maybe a new team that you have in the back, kind of just cooking and seeing hey, let's try this out and see, because you've got Collinsville at the end of the month, and you've got some of these other regionals happening. Talking about teams yesterday, that same Togedemaru team, I loved it because it has two of my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, Ophamezier's team was incredible.
I messaged him and I was like, hey, I'm gonna need that code ASAP, and I have it now, so I'm going to ladder with it.
Secure the bag.
It was great. So, but also on the other end, when he was playing Caleb, using Lapras was really fun to see, because Lapras, I know people are kind of sleeping on it until it gets its Gigantamax form legal in probably one of the upcoming rotations. So
we have a lot of players that actually aren't returning from yesterday too. There's two players in particular I think that stand out to me as versed competitors, people that have been playing for quite some time. Justin Ramirez and Paul Chua. Justin, a little bit more, new of a player in terms of breaking out in success at Dallas. Ended up getting top 8 there with one of the most unique teams I think I've ever seen get top 8 at a regional. And then we have Paul Chua, who is arguably one of the most consistent players to ever come out of New Jersey. Constant, winning a regional or two every year, doing well at nationals, plenty. So those people are here, and they're definitely, ready to gun for that top place. A lot of the players that come here, they aren't just coming for points. They're it's a little bit of a proving ground. I know I always felt a chip on my shoulder when I came to dominating the local scene. I have some mid-season trophies that I look at a little bit more fondly than some people look at their regional bricks. So
yeah, again, Paul Chua, like you said, returning actually coming today, but Paul Chua is tied with Wolf Glick for the most regional wins at 6 in Masters, which is an incredible number. So we're definitely psyched to have him play at the high level that he always brings. And again, like you said, these are basically regionals. The level of competition that we have here in New Jersey, in this area, and of course we hit 103 players yesterday, and we're still above 85 players today, which is an incredible number. We didn't even hit regionals that had that many players, let alone the amount of competition. And I think there were some new players to me yesterday that were really interesting. Dylan Clark, who the Smash player, he was on stream. He ended up going 5-0, and then I think he lost to Jeremy Odina. But his team was really interesting, and I think a lot of stuff that I've seen with the newer players is the creativity that they can bring to team building.
Yeah. Oh, and also Jake Skurchek. Well, Jake returned too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got him.
Okay.
Oh, I gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
we were just informed of our round 1 pairing.
Yeah, our round 1 pairing, which is going to be Jake Skurchak and Justin Ramirez. So Jake Skurchak, who we had on stream yesterday, a really, really interesting match that I am looking forward to.
Yeah, Jake didn't really bust out with anything, any type of deep run yesterday, but the kid is always somebody that knows how to step up his game when he needs to. And after getting a lot of CP recently, it's something that you want to, if you're gunning for a world's invite. Today's something where he's gonna have to step it up. I definitely expect to see him, probably in the top 8. But if I'm picking, any people that I think are probably gonna end up, pulling this off. I don't know if James ended up returning today, but I definitely think he's a
James Evans.
But the people I did prior mention, Paul Chua, Justin Ramirez, Jake Skurchek. Those are people that I think are definitely gonna be, making a deep run today. And I think that our first round pairing is actually going to end up being Justin Ramirez and Jake Skirchek.
So one of them have to make a a turnaround for that one.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. That is pretty much, I think, what we're going to stop there for the pre-show. We are super excited to bring you guys this round 1 and the rest of the day of coverage. So sit tight. We'll be bringing you with Regina and Jake. They will be coming on with your commentary for round 1, so stay tuned.